I want to talk about a powerful idea, taking just one day to experience a breakthrough in your life. It might sound simple, but it's profoundly transformative. Now, what do I mean by a breakthrough? A breakthrough is when you move past the old ways of thinking and feeling that have been holding you back. It's a moment when you finally break free from the habits, emotions, and limitations that have kept you stuck. It's when you reach a new level of understanding and begin to create the reality you've always wanted. And today, I want to show you how you can achieve this breakthrough by dedicating just one day. First, let's talk about the power of the present moment. Understanding this concept is crucial because it helps us see how change really happens. The present moment is where all change takes place. Many people believe that change will come in the future, thinking that they will achieve their goals or dreams later on. However, the reality is that the future is created by what we do right now. The future doesn't actually exist yet. It's simply a projection of what we are doing in the present. Imagine you want to make a change in your life, such as improving your health, starting a new career, or building better relationships. It's easy to think that these changes will only happen in the future, once certain conditions are met or once you achieve specific milestones. But in truth, the actions and decisions you make right now are what shape your future. The future is like a blank canvas that is painted by your current thoughts, feelings, and actions. If you want to create a new future, you need to focus on changing your present moment. This means that the changes you want to see in your life start with what you are doing right now. For example, if you want to become healthier, you should focus on making healthy choices today, like eating nutritious food, exercising, and managing stress. These small, everyday actions are what build the foundation for a healthier future. Similarly, if you want to start a new career, you should take steps now, such as learning new skills, networking, or applying for jobs. One of the reasons it's so important to focus on the present moment is because it is the only time we truly have control over. The past is already gone, and the future has not yet arrived, so all we can influence is what is happening right now. By making conscious choices and taking positive actions in the present, we set the stage for the future we want to create. To make the most of the present moment, you can practice mindfulness. This means paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and actions without judgment. When you are mindful, you become more aware of what is happening right now, which helps you make better decisions and take more deliberate actions. This awareness can also help you identify any negative patterns or habits that might be holding you back, allowing you to change them before they affect your future. The key to this change is to elevate your state of being. You need to feel different to create a different reality. Your emotions are crucial in this process. Emotions are not just feelings. They are signals of the energy you are radiating. They are the energy that drives your experiences. So, if you want to create a breakthrough, you need to change the energy you're putting out into the world. Start by asking yourself, what is the emotion you would feel if your dreams had already come true? Would you feel joy, excitement, gratitude? These emotions are powerful indicators of the future you want to create. When you can feel these emotions now, you begin to align yourself with that future reality. But it's not just about feeling good for a moment. You need to sustain that emotional state. This is where the practice comes in. To make lasting changes, you have to train your body and mind to stay in that elevated state. You need to teach your body how it will feel when you've achieved your goals. This process involves both your thoughts and your emotions. Thoughts are the intention, the direction, the goal. Emotions are the energy that fuels those thoughts. You can think positively all day long, but without the corresponding emotional energy, those thoughts will not bring about change. The combination of clear intention and elevated emotion is what creates the transformation you're looking for. Imagine you're tuning a radio. You have to find the right frequency to hear the station you want. In the same way, you need to match your energy to the frequency of your desired future. When there is a vibrational match, the reality you desire will be drawn to you. This is how the quantum field works. It responds to the energy you emit and brings you experiences that match that energy. So how do you align your energy with the future you want? You start by creating a clear vision of what you want. Visualize your goal as if it's already accomplished. See it in your mind's eye. Feel the emotions associated with it. Let that vision and those emotions become real for you in the present moment. This is where your one-day breakthrough begins. Set aside one day to fully immerse yourself in this process. Spend the day in a state of focused intention and elevated emotion. Imagine that everything you want has already happened. Feel the joy, gratitude, and excitement as if it's real right now. You might find this challenging at first. Your old self might resist. It's common to encounter doubts, fears, and old habits trying to pull you back into the past. But remember, you are crossing a river from the old self to the new self. It's not always easy, but it's necessary for transformation. To make this process of achieving your goals more effective, using meditation can be a powerful tool. Meditation is a practice that helps you focus your mind and emotions, making it easier to stay in the present moment. This is important because staying present allows you to align your thoughts and feelings with your desires, which can help bring those desires into reality. When you meditate, you create a special time for yourself to calm your mind and tune into what you truly want. It's like giving your brain a break from all the noise and distractions of everyday life. During meditation, you can use visualization techniques to picture your desired future. This means you imagine in great detail what your life will look like once you have achieved your goals. For example, if your goal is to have a successful career, you might visualize yourself in that successful role, enjoying the work and feeling proud of your achievements. As you visualize, it's important to really feel the emotions associated with achieving your goals. Imagine the joy, satisfaction, or excitement you would feel once your dreams come true. This emotional connection is crucial because it helps to strengthen the link between your thoughts and your desires. The more real and intense these feelings are during your meditation, the more powerful the impact on your mind and body. Holding that vision with intense focus means you stay completely absorbed in the image and emotions of your desired future. It's like putting all your attention and energy into this mental picture. The clearer and more vivid your vision, the more effective your meditation will be. This practice helps to reprogram your mind and body by aligning them with the changes you want to create in your life. When you repeatedly visualize and feel your future success, you begin to shift your subconscious beliefs and behaviors to support your goals. Meditation also helps to reduce stress and anxiety, which can block your ability to manifest your desires. When you are stressed or worried, it's harder to focus on positive outcomes. Meditation calms your mind, allowing you to approach your goals with a clearer and more positive mindset. This peaceful state of mind makes it easier to maintain the high energy and positive emotions that attract your desires. To get started with meditation, find a quiet and comfortable place where you won't be disturbed. Sit or lie down in a relaxed position. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to help you settle into the present moment. Once you feel calm, begin to visualize your desired future. Picture yourself living your dream and immerse yourself in the feelings associated with it. Try to practice meditation regularly, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Consistency is key. The more you meditate, the stronger the connection between your mind, body, and your desires will become. Over time, this practice can help to shift your mindset, reduce resistance, and make it easier to achieve your goals. As you meditate, you might experience physical sensations or emotions. These are signs that your body is responding to the new energy. Don't be afraid of these sensations. They are a part of the process. Embrace them and continue to focus on your vision and emotions. Another important part of making a breakthrough is learning to let go of the need to control or predict how and when your desires will come true. This can be really challenging, but it's crucial for creating the change you want in your life. When you are fixated on controlling every detail or trying to figure out exactly how your goals will manifest, you create what's called resistance. This resistance can block your progress and make it harder for you to achieve your dreams. It's like trying to swim against a strong current. The more you fight against it, the harder it becomes to move forward. So, what does it mean to let go of control? It means you need to stop worrying about the how and when of your desires. Instead of focusing on all the specifics, you should concentrate on what it feels like to have already achieved your goals. Imagine that you have already reached your dreams and try to live in that feeling. This shift in focus is really important because it helps you align with the energy of your desired outcome. When you're constantly trying to predict or control the future, you are not allowing the natural flow of life to happen. Think of it like planting a seed. If you keep digging up the seed to check if it's growing, you're actually preventing it from taking root. You need to trust that the process is working even if you can't see the results right away. Just like a seed needs time to grow, your desires need time to manifest. By letting go of the need to control everything, you allow your dreams to unfold in their own time. One way to practice this is by visualizing your goals as if they have already been achieved. Spend time each day imagining your success and feeling the emotions you would feel if your dreams had already come true. This could be feelings of joy, satisfaction, or relief. When you focus on these feelings, you are aligning your energy with your desired outcome. You are essentially tuning yourself to the frequency of your goal. Living as if you have already achieved your goals helps to create a powerful shift in your energy. When you are in this state, you're more likely to attract the things you want into your life. It's like sending out a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive what you've been dreaming about. The universe. To get started with meditation, find a quiet and comfortable place where you won't be disturbed. Sit or lie down in a relaxed position. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to help you settle into the present moment. Once you feel calm, begin to visualize your desired future. Picture yourself living your dream and immerse yourself in the feelings associated with it. Try to practice meditation regularly, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Consistency is key. The more you meditate, the stronger the connection between your mind, body, and your desires will become. Over time, this practice can help to shift your mindset, reduce resistance, and make it easier to achieve your goals. As you meditate, you might experience physical sensations or emotions. These are signs that your body is responding to the new energy. Don't be afraid of these sensations. They are a part of the process. Embrace them and continue to focus on your vision and emotions. Another important part of making a breakthrough is learning to let go of the need to control or predict how and when your desires will come true. This can be really challenging, but it's crucial for creating the change you want in your life. When you are fixated on controlling every detail or trying to figure out exactly how your goals will manifest, you create what's called resistance. This resistance can block your progress and make it harder for you to achieve your dreams. It's like trying to swim against a strong current. The more you fight against it, the harder it becomes to move forward. So, what does it mean to let go of control? It means you need to stop worrying about the how and when of your desires. Instead of focusing on all the specifics, you should concentrate on what it feels like to have already achieved your goals. Imagine that you have already reached your dreams and try to live in that feeling. This shift in focus is really important because it helps you align with the energy of your desired outcome. When you're constantly trying to predict or control the future, you are not allowing the natural flow of life to happen. Think of it like planting a seed. If you keep digging up the seed to check if it's growing, you're actually preventing it from taking root. You need to trust that the process is working, even if you can't see the results right away. Just like a seed needs time to grow, your desires need time to manifest. By letting go of the need to control everything, you allow your dreams to unfold in their own time. One way to practice this is by visualizing your goals as if they have already been achieved. Spend time each day imagining your success and feeling the emotions you would feel if your dreams had already come true. This could be feelings of joy, satisfaction, or relief. When you focus on these feelings, you are aligning your energy with your desired outcome. You are essentially tuning yourself to the frequency of your goal. Living as if you have already achieved your goals helps to create a powerful shift in your energy. When you are in this state, you're more likely to attract the things you want into your life. It's like sending out a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive what you've been dreaming about. The universe. Like to have a new job? What would it be like to be in a new relationship, to do whatever, to be healed? The moment you ask that question, the part of your brain called the frontal lobe, which is the crowning achievement of the human being, 40% of your brain is the frontal lobe. It's the workshop, it's the creative center. Frontal lobe has connections to all other parts of your brain. The moment you ask an open-ended question, you speculate a possibility. The creative center turns on, and it looks out over the landscape of the entire brain, and it begins to call up different networks of neurons that are stored in your brain based on something you've learned intellectually, knowledge, or something you've experienced in your life. Like, well, I know what it is to be in love, or I know what it is to have a good job, or I read a book about it, and it begins to call up these different networks of neurons, and then it seamlessly pieces them together to create a new idea, a new vision. Now listen, your body's gonna go like, well, we gotta get a cup of coffee, and you gotta go, I'm tired, and you gotta go, body, you're not the mind, I'm the mind right now. You're gonna sit here, I'm gonna feed you, you're gonna get your coffee, you're going to do all those things, but right now, this is my time. You're going to obey me, right? So now the body's no longer the mind, you're the mind. And so when it wants to get up and you become aware of it, you return back to the present moment. Every time you do, that's a victory. And you're changing some aspect of yourself. So then ask yourself, I do this all the time. Write down 4 thoughts that you're going to stay conscious of the whole day. I can't, it's too hard. You'd be surprised the moment you become conscious of what those thoughts are, how unconscious you've been to them all day, all for weeks on end. Write down what you speak, how you speak, 4 things you want to change, how you act, how do you act? Do you complain? Do you blame? Do you make excuses? Do you feel sorry for yourself? That's a victim consciousness. What emotions do you live by? Is it possible that you're so used to living by guilt you don't even know it's guilt, it just feels like you? Do you allow your energy to drop? Become conscious of those states of mind and body and review them and say, this is the old self. Then say, what thoughts do I want to fire and wire in my brain? And start firing and wiring and start feeling it. What behaviors will I demonstrate today? What choices will I make? One day, one lifetime. Just like you did, rehearse them. Rehearse the whole entire thing. Begin to install the neurological hardware in your brain. And if you keep installing it, the hardware is going to become a software program, and you're going to start thinking and acting that way. And then here's the tough part. Can you teach your body emotionally what your future is going to feel like before it's made manifest? And don't get up until you feel that way. Now practice that for a few days and then see if you can stay in that state and watch all of a sudden all those weird doors start opening for you. Synchronicities, whatever they are. Number 2, take time at the end of your day before you lay down, and give thanks for your life. Feel gratitude and really teach your body what it feels like. The emotional signature of gratitude. Gratitude means you're getting something. If I give you something that's of value, you would say thank you because you would feel it, right? So when you're receiving, you're giving thanks. So gratitude is the ultimate state of receiving. So then people only accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts equal to their emotional state. So if you're in a state of gratitude, every thought's gonna make it right down into your body. If you're saying, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, and your body's programmed the negativity, it's saying, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not, thought's going to stop right here. So as you elevate your state, there are about 100-200 different chemical reactions that go on in the body that begin to restore and repair the body in a state of gratitude. And so we've done the research to prove that. 10 minutes and just feel it with all of your heart. That's it. The third thing, and very important, take time. Whenever it is, sit down, close your eyes, and begin to just open your awareness to the space around you and just sense it and pay attention to it and become more aware of it. The act of opening your awareness begins to reduce the stress hormones and creates more coherent brainwave states. I'm doing it right now. It's just a practice. It's just a practice. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. Most of our thoughts and feelings come from our past experiences. They come from our memories. In fact, your brain is organized to reflect everything you know in your life. Your brain is a record of all the things you've learned and experienced to date. It's an artifact. And when you have an experience, when you're in the midst of an experience, all of your 5 senses plug you into the external environment. And as your brain is processing all of this vital sensory data, all of that information rushes back to the brain, and when it reaches the brain, it causes jungles of neurons to organize themselves into networks, to string into patterns, to reflect their interaction with their external environment. The moment those neurons organize into patterns, the brain makes a chemical, and that chemical is called a feeling or an emotion. And so experiences tend to create more long-term memories because it patterns or stamps or embosses networks of neurons into very specific patterns. And then the emotional quotient helps us to remember the event. So we learn something new intellectually. We also cause networks of neurons to form. The Nobel Prize laureate Kandel in the year 2000 found that when people learn just one bit of information, they double the number of connections in their brain from 1,300 connections to 2,600 connections. So if they didn't review that information or repeat it, the connections pruned apart. So we know then that learning semantic information begins to organize circuitry in the brain, and experiences enrich the brain. The end product of experience, of course, is the emotion, and it causes us to feel certain ways. You can remember where you were on 9/11. You can tell me who you were with, what time of day it was, what you were doing, because whatever you were seeing in that moment or hearing in that moment changed how you were feeling. And the moment you felt altered or you felt differently, significantly, your brain perked up and you paid attention to whatever caused that. And that event in and of itself is called a memory. So then most of our thoughts and feelings tend to be within the neural circuitry of the past and the emotions of the past chemically. So if you take a thought, thoughts are the language of the brain, and feelings are the language of the body, and how you think and how you feel creates a state of being. So if you combine a thought and a feeling, a thought and a feeling, a thought and a feeling, and you have a series of good thoughts that are connected to a series of good feelings, that cycle of thinking and feeling creates what's called an attitude. If you have a series of negative thoughts that are connected to some pretty bad feelings, you'll say, I have a pretty bad attitude today. So if how you think and how you feel creates a state of being, then attitudes are just shortened states of being. You feel good in the morning, you feel bad in the afternoon. If you take an attitude, an attitude, an attitude, and you begin to string attitudes together, when you combine an attitude, an attitude, an attitude, you start to form what's called beliefs. Now, a belief is just a thought you keep thinking over and over again until you hardwire it in your brain. And because beliefs are based on past experiences, then the very boundaries of our beliefs are how we feel. And so when our beliefs get challenged, it typically doesn't feel right. I know from the research that we've done that the redundancy of thinking and feeling and thinking over time, for example, a person has an insecure thought, then they feel insecure. The moment they feel insecure, they think more insecure thoughts. They fire and wire more circuits in their brain to feel more chemicals of insecurity. And then once they're feeling insecure, they think more insecure thoughts. And they do this over and over again. Right on the other side of your fear is courage. Right on the other side of your sadness is joy. It's the same energy. It's just trapped in the body. And when you stretch yourself past that point and you break free from the chains of those emotional addictions, the side effect of that is called joy. And the body is liberated from that level of mind. And when that happens, there's available energy to create with. And so when you break through that, you begin to love yourself. You begin to respect yourself. And you begin to love and respect others because you see yourself in them. And now that you're free from it, you can understand them with compassion without knee-jerking in the same way. So the difficulty here is really making the time to do it. And if you began to think about a new way of being and you moved into a state where you said, I'm not going to get up until I am this person. And not only did you memorize it neurologically in your brain, but you allowed the thoughts that you were thinking to become the experience to the point that your body, as the unconscious mind, began to live in that future reality in the present moment. And when you got up, when mind and body were working together in that state of being, and you said, I'm going to maintain the state of being my entire day, and I don't care. Bring on the challenges, because I want to test my greatness. And you did that the entire day. The end of your day, when you finished your day, more than likely you'd have more energy than when you started. The literal translation of the word meditation in Tibetan means to become familiar with. The symbol means to become familiar with. So if you're becoming conscious of or familiar with your unconscious self to the point you're so conscious of your unconscious thoughts, so familiar with your unconscious habits, and so aware of your emotions that you would never let them go by unnoticed by you. There's no chance for you to return back to the old self, to know thyself. So people wake up in the morning and they start thinking about their problems. And those problems are memories in the brain that are connected to certain people and certain things at certain times and places. So they wake up in the morning and they start thinking in the past. Now, the moment they start having those thoughts, every one of those experiences has an emotion associated with it. So when they start thinking about their problems or the problems of the world or the problems of their body or whatever it is, problems at work, they all of a sudden start to feel the correlated emotion. So now their body's in the past. So now people then get caught up in an emotion, they reaffirm their identity, they could wake up in the morning and feel nothing at all. And then all of a sudden they say, well, wait a second, I've got to get back to myself. So they start thinking about their problems, and here come the emotions. And they say, oh, now I feel like me again. So those emotions then begin to influence our thoughts. Like if you feel like a failure, you're going to think you're a failure. And when you think you're a failure, you're going to feel like a failure. And when you feel like a failure, you're going to think more thoughts equal to being a failure. And the cycle of thinking and feeling and feeling and thinking causes you to say, I am a failure. And the repetition of that process of thinking and feeling and feeling and thinking conditions the body to become the mind of that emotion. Now the emotion is stored in the body. Now the body's literally in the past. And the body, as the unconscious mind, doesn't know the difference between the actual experience that's creating the emotion and the emotion that you're creating by thought alone. Your body's believing it's in the same experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So then getting people out of the past is the work. So then they wake up in the morning after they reaffirm who they are, and they can't think greater than how they feel they're in the familiar past. So if you're in the familiar past, you're going to do the things that reaffirm the emotions of your predictable future. So you wake up in the morning, you check your WhatsApp, you check your text, you check your Twitter, you tweet, you check your Facebook, you check your email, you check the news. Now you are really connected to everything that's known in your life. And then you run through a series of routine behaviors. You move around your house the same way you always do. You do all the same things. You go to the same grocery store, you buy the same food, you shop the same way, you do all these, you watch the same TV shows, and people do this for 10, 20, 30 years. Now their body's on autopilot, and their body's dragging them into a predictable future based on what they did in the past. You could actually take their yesterday and lift it up and set it on their tomorrow, which means then they've lost their free will to a program. So now the familiar past and the predictable future is called the known. There's only one place that you have to train a person to be so that they're not in the known, they're in the unknown, and that's called the present moment. So people get very happy being unhappy because they would rather cling to their unhappiness than take a chance in possibility. So stepping into that river and beginning to make a new choice and understanding that uncertainty, that unpredictability is the unknown. Now you're in that river of change, and it is the neurological, the biological, the chemical, hormonal, genetic death of the old self. People say to me, well, if there's uncertainty, I can't predict my future. And I always say the same thing. The best way to predict your future is to create it, not in the known, right there. That uncertainty, you can learn now how to regulate your state instead of living in fear, because the idea that things are going to get worse, the idea that you can't predict, the idea of being uncertain or can't control something actually sets off the stress response. So now you're in the unknown, and this survival gene is switched on. Of course, people are going out of the infinite possibilities that exist in the quantum field. They're going to select the worst scenario in their mind, right? So then what if you're in the unknown and you understand that, and now you can work back into that present moment, and you say, what thoughts do I want to fire and wire in my brain, put my attention behind? What behaviors today, one day? What behaviors do I want to demonstrate? And the act of closing your eyes and mentally rehearsing who you're going to be when you open your eyes begins to install the neurological hardware in your brain to look like you've already done it. Now the brain is no longer a record of the past.